Christine here, the content creator of honeybuilthome.com, the online platform that is geared towards empowering women to stop waiting and start creating a home they love, one DIY project at a time. Speaking of DIY projects, we just finished the ultimate DIY project, which is lay new luxury vinyl flooring throughout our entire main floor. Now, previously we actually had engineered hardwood and it did not hold up to the kids and dogs. Scratches, toys, dings, dents, water damage. Our specific product just wasn't kid and family friendly. So we opted to partner with Audacity flooring to showcase their new luxury vinyl plank flooring, which is waterproof, scratch and dent resistant compared to engineered hardwood, and it has a rigid core so you can actually lay a floating floor across over 6,000 square feet without needing any type of transitions. This right here is the luxury vinyl plank that we ended up going with. This is the color SANDPOINT by Audacity. It does come with an underlayment already attached and it has a rigid core. You can use a miter saw or a chop saw to cut and install this, but you can also use a score and snap method just using a razor blade, which makes the install process fly by because you're not having to get up and go back and forth to the saw. This was the old flooring that we had. Very beautiful engineered hardwood, but engineered hardwood is actually just a thin layer of real wood and then a bunch of different layers of composite wood. So while it feels like real wood because it is on the top, once this real wood surface gets scratched, dented, there's only so many times that you can sand and refinish before you have to tear up all of the floors. Our engineered hardwood was glued and nailed in place, making it a permanent floor. Now, when you have a permanent floor, you have two options. One, you can tear out the existing floor. So if it's tile, if it's engineered hardwood, if it's real hardwood, you're more than welcome to hire a crew, tear it all out, and then start from scratch. But because this is a permanent floor, we had the option of floating our new luxury vinyl directly on top of our hardwood. Now, you wouldn't want to float a luxury vinyl floor over another floating floor. That's gonna cause buckling issues and it's just not recommended. Existing floating floors are really easy to remove. Once you get the baseboards up, all of your flooring should come up in less than an hour. All of the pieces just come up very easily. A nailed in or glued in floor is gonna take a lot more manpower to get all of those pieces up, which is why we opted just to lay the new flooring directly on top. Now, the nice thing about a luxury vinyl plank install is that it's a click and lock system. There are some luxury vinyl planks that you do have to glue down, but Audacity's are click and lock systems, which makes it a great, easy DIY project, even for beginners. The biggest thing that you have to consider is your starting point. So we opted to start on one end of our house to be able to continue the flooring without any transitions to the opposite end of our house, without having to backtrack in terms of laying the floor in a backwards pattern. On each piece of luxury vinyl, there are two tongues and then there are two grooves. So the tongues fit on top of the grooves, they snap in place, and then using a rubber mallet, you can help really lock all of those pieces into place. Now, when you start, you wanna make sure that you're leaving at least a 6 millimeter or approximately 1/4 of an inch gap from your walls as well as cabinets or anything that is fixed in place. This allows for expansion and contraction of the flooring and allows it to float freely without any obstructions. Now, to help cover up those gaps, there's lots of different options. The first one is gonna be your baseboards. You're gonna wanna make sure that the flooring is close enough to your wall that when your baseboard sits on top, that it's covering up the gap. When you're going around your kitchen and cabinets and other obstacles, you can opt for quarter round or any other type of trim piece, a flat quarter round, to be able to cover up those gaps. Kitchen toe kicks, you can actually pop your toe kicks off, install the flooring, and then put your toe kicks on. Or if your toe kicks are like mine and they're glued in place, you can always create new faux toe kicks that will just go over your existing toe kicks, allowing you to still have your expansion gap. Now this floor, because it is a luxury vinyl, it does not need to acclimate to your room's temperature. It just needs to be installed between 50 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, as you are installing, you're gonna wanna pick between 3 and 4 different boxes of wood to make sure that you're mixing up the patterns and the color. Depending on the type of style that you go for, there are gonna be some where the variations are very drastic, and there are gonna be others where the variations are almost non-existent. The SANDPOINT color has very minimal differentiating planks, which made the install pretty smooth. Now, all of Audacity's luxury vinyl flooring does come with its own backing underlayment. So you don't need additional underlayment between your subfloor and the luxury vinyl flooring, or in my case, my hardwood floors and the luxury vinyl plank. However, if you are installing directly over concrete, you're gonna wanna be sure to have a plastic underlayment to prevent them as a moisture barrier. Now, Audacity's Liberty Collection is the first to be made exclusively here in America. It is 100% waterproof, family-proof, kid-proof, pet-proof. And that's one of the reasons that we chose it. They had so many color options to choose from. Once again, we chose the SANDPOINT. It is beautiful, and I feel like the light color just really helps brighten up our space. Be sure to follow along and subscribe for more DIY tutorials, tips, and follow along on Instagram where I share all of the behind the scenes details of every single project.